Happy Thursday. I hope your week has gone well. We are recording this, however, on Sunday afternoon. We had a guest speaker today. Her name is Ellie. And one of the things that Ellie shared with me that ties directly into her sermon is she has asthma. What is amazing is she dealt with that. It perfectly explained the roots of your sermon where it came from.
It does.
So please share with them asthma, and the title of the sermon was Spoke of Love. How did those two come together?
Absolutely. So I was diagnosed with severe asthma in my early 20s, and about 2 years ago I had some very bad asthma to the point of where I had to be, we'll start that over again, where I almost had to be hospitalized, and it went away because I had steroid shots. Well, about a year ago, I started to have some asthma again and started to see an acupuncturist, and she has been diligently trying to balance my chi, teaching me what I need to eat, what I need to drink, no more iced beverages, which I'm failing miserably at, and because it's Arizona, and just really learning a lot about how my body responds to what it intakes, so food and beverage. And the summer, I started to have a really bad asthma again, to the point of where I was taking my inhaler probably every 2 to 3 hours.
Wow.
And then not being able to sleep because I was so jittery from the inhaler. And I finally said something to her, and she said, "You need to reduce the stress in your life. We've done together the work that needed to be done from what your body intakes, but you're still intaking stress. So we need to get rid of that." So we reset. I came to a point of where I started not caring about the things that were stressing me in my life. I was able to identify those pretty quickly. And then I started to think about, well, what would it be like to love myself? And beyond exercising, beyond meditating, beyond going to an acupuncturist and all of that, what did it mean to love myself? And so I started to think about that a lot lately. And this was at the cusp of when some of the work that I was doing in the community was starting to fall apart. And then in another circle that I ran in, I noticed those same problems surfacing, and I could almost see the end of this because of the end of that. And I didn't know how to balance that. And so I've been on this love revolution mission of late.
So becoming aware of your own body and reducing stress, you're saying opened you up to a way of finding love for yourself and for other people.
Absolutely. And then what's been ironic in all of that is I've been invited to come and share that journey a lot more. And it's been in these faith-based settings, and it's brought me back to my childhood. It's brought me back to why I went to seminary in the first place, was to figure out what is this collection of stories in the Bible talking about. And I went through a revolution of thinking, okay, well, Jesus was a justice worker, so he was turning over tables of, in government agencies and religious institutions and anti this, anti that, and that tends to be this very bang your head against the wall, you're always fighting the system kind of thing. But I don't think that that's the solution. There's many things that play a role into the solution, which is why I chose the sermon title, The Spokes of Love. Yeah. Because if we become siloed is the moment that we start to fall apart. And if the center is love, and there's these different spokes that play a larger circle of life, then we move through life that way. Now the wheel could be a wagon wheel, so it could be a little bumpy along the way, but as long as we are centered in love, I think it's a better place for us to start.
Yeah.
It
was great because this morning I was able to hear Ellie give the sermon twice. We have now 2 services starting to this week. We have one at 10 o'clock, we have one at 11:30, so I actually got to hear her twice. And I promise you, it is worth your time. So go to Beatitudes Radio, download it, put your earplugs in, and while you're out walking or doing something, please give it a listen because Ellie really had some powerful things to share. So enjoy the rest of your week, and perhaps we'll see you some Sunday here at Beatitudes. Otherwise, enjoy your life.
Peace and love.